Hello, good afternoon folks. Chef Tony Irwin here coming to you live from Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral. Got another beautiful Saturday afternoon. And today we're going to go back to Northfield again. Like I said last week, we made Tavern garlic butter from Northfield, Minnesota. The now former Tavern restaurant in Northfield, which is no longer there sadly. But we're going to keep on rolling with some of their favorites that were my favorites. And I know a lot of other people like some of these dishes. So like I said, last week we did Tavern garlic butter. So now this week, we're gonna make something with that Tavern garlic butter that used to be on their menu. It was an appetizer, and it was one of my favorite appetizers, mushrooms. Tavern mushrooms. I got my mushrooms all sliced up here. They're just little button mushrooms is all you want. One way you can tell if you're wondering how fresh are my mushrooms that I'm getting, one of the best ways to look at them on a little button mushroom, if you can get inside and look at the inside, the little strip here that you normally see that might be dark brown or maybe almost black, that should not be that color. It should be light pink, closest to pink as possible, which means the mushroom itself is extremely fresh. So, because when they're freshly picked, on the underside of the button cap, they're bright pink. So that's one way to tell how fresh the mushrooms you bought at the grocery store. So today, what we're starting with though, I've got about 8 ounces of mushrooms here, cups worth basically. I got my pan heating up. I got about 4 tablespoons of Tavern garlic butter, and we mix the Tavern garlic butter with olive oil. That's the one little secret they had on the dish. And so, boom, we're gonna get that butter melting down. Said we got the 2 tablespoons. I got my pan on probably about medium high. Get that all melted down here. Let's maybe crank that up a little bit more. There we go. Now we got that going. Yeah, now that's melting down just fine. Oh, people, I wish you could smell this. This smells so darn good. This is just one of my most favorite smells in the world, just the smell of Tavern garlic butter. It's just got such a good, fresh smell to it. It's just so great. All right, so now we got, like I said, about 4 tablespoons of the garlic butter in there. Now we're gonna add let's go at about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So we got that in there. All right, mix it all around, get everything mixed up, looking good and happy together, lots of fun. It's a party in the pan, and we're gonna finish off the party in the pan with the mushrooms. All right, there we go. Let's get them all in there. We don't wanna waste any of those little guys. All right, so the first thing then, boom, get them moving around in your pan so we get everything coated up really nicely in there. So everybody's coated up with some of that good garlic butter, the olive oil, all the good seasonings. And now we're gonna crank it up a little bit. Crank that up to almost high. And now we're just gonna let these suckers cook. We gotta keep them moving around. That's the main secret with Tavern mushrooms. You gotta keep them moving, or else the butter and the olive oil are gonna start to burn, and then you're not gonna get a good flavor. Burnt garlic and burnt olive oil, that's never fun. And burnt butter too, for that matter. But good stuff. We got it going here, keeping a good close eye on it. As you can see, the mushrooms are now starting to cook, starting to change color. They're starting to release their water or juices, whatever they got in them. Everything's starting to come out of them. And now this is really starting to smell really good right now, folks. Man, I wish we gotta work on this television, people. We gotta figure this out. How does this work? So I could be making this, and these smells could be pumping into your home, and you'd love it, because I love it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is great. Fantastic, folks. And of course, when we served them, we always served them in our trusty Tavern boats, as we call them. So I've got my trusty Tavern boat here still. Probably one of the very few that are out there that remain. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to get a little color on the mushrooms, starting to get a little brown from the heat and the butter and the pan and the olive oil. It's all bringing them flavors up and out of the mushroom. Oh yeah. There we go. That's looking just perfect, folks. This is, this would be a smell that you would smell on Division Street when you were walking down in front of the Archer House. This smell would be coming out of the exhaust, and people would be like, oh my gosh, what's that smell? We gotta find the source of that smell, and let's go eat some of these things. And boom, that's how we usually get a lot of customers in at the tavern, just because of the smell wafting onto the street. Always smells so good, so good. All right, we're nearing completion on this. This really, folks, really takes a very short amount of time to cook these things because it is fast. And you don't want to overcook the mushroom. You don't want the mushroom mushy. And you still want just a little firmness to them. So you get some of that good taste and natural flavor of the mushroom because they are very earthy tasting. And there we go, folks. Tavern mushrooms from the former Tavern restaurant in Northfield. All right, let's take a taste and see how we did. See if that tastes just like it smelled, which I'm sure it did. Ah. Ooh, hot. Mmm. Oh, folks, I wish you could taste this. This is so good, so tasty. I hope you can make this. If you like mushrooms, this is the one to go with. You already got your Tavern garlic butter that I showed you how to make last week. Make up a batch of that. You're good to go. You can make this, and maybe next week we'll do another dish with Tavern garlic butter. Keep that Tavern train rolling, so to speak. All right, folks, it's great to see you. Chef Tony signing out here from Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral. Good to see you. We'll see you next weekend. Peace out.